Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is the 15th of October, 2021. These are the Charles Perry Stalker Podcasts. It is Friday. And use the but for analysis. But for Mr. Perry's stalking, these podcasts wouldn't be necessary, would they? So they've really wanted me to shut up. And we've exposed a lot of crime that goes way the hell back. And they don't like that. But guess what? Every woman who's been a victim of domestic violence. There's all kinds of stalking groups on Facebook where women rant about being stalked. It's not fun. You oughta be in my shoes one day. I bet you couldn't live 5 minutes in my shoes, much less 10 years. Going through what I've gone through. Loss after loss after loss after loss. The privacy of your home is invaded. You're being tormented all fucking day. And the bitch thinks that's a date. That's a crime, not a date. You're alone for a reason. Maybe you're doing it wrong. You're all by yourself. Nobody wants you. I don't. Maybe you should date a witch. You're into that. You're forcing your religion down my throat, and I really don't appreciate it. Then I have freedom of religion. I have the freedom to say, I don't want yours on me. Get it off. Mr. Perry's I guess a sadist or something. Satanist sadist or something. I don't know. They keep trying to convert me. I'm not interested. Thank you. Then they had we have to apply use allegedly to all allegations and use the reasonable person standard. If you're in my shoes, what would you do? Yeah. Okay. And everybody who's in Me Too, every woman who has spoken out about abuse. You gonna selectively prosecute me, Mr. Powell, because you don't like getting told on? Yeah, well, okay. You're provoking, Mr. Perry. There's a harassment email. I'm gonna send her home after the first false arrest where we smeared her and lied about her and went into court and claimed there was a political vendetta with no evidence of that anywhere. I didn't do Texas legislation. You were the new guy. I'd been in it all my life, didn't need your help. I had 100 people I could call if I needed something. I didn't do Texas legislation. I did federal. So, Mr. Perry's just irritating the shit out of everybody today. Again, can't figure out why he can't get a woman to want him. You're doing it wrong. Maybe that's why you're all by yourself all the time. He's going to need an alibi, Mr. Warman. And he's not going to have one. More than just putting some schmuck up on the stand to say, oh yeah, I saw him, he was with me. Nope, he's going to have a whole lot more than that. Like video that he's not doing what we say he's doing. Sitting around on his fat lazy ass, perverting around and causing problems and pestering and causing problems and pestering. And when he does that, by the way, we get more of these. This guy seems to be bringing up some facts that he needs to explain away and he can't do it. He seems frustrated about it. They needed her to look crazy. What's happened is they're doing all this shit to her because the goal was when she was false arrested the first time, filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job. There's texts and emails going back to 2011 have nothing to do with anything legislative. It's all about stalking. He's coming up behind my house, creeping. He's peeping. He's bothering. Showing up at restaurants, uninvited, looking for me. I wasn't there. See, for delusion to work, Mr. Perry, you guys all want to say I'm delusional. If you want to say I'm delusional, what has to happen, a doctor told me. Here's what the doctors in Oklahoma said. I have to see your evidence, and then I have to see if I see what you see. And that's delusion when you see something I don't see it, like a ghost or, whatever. But the thing is I told everybody he's threatening death and false arrest, and then he did it. I'm saying all this stuff beforehand. It's not an afterthought to explain something away after it's beforehand because we're establishing malicious intent and premeditation of crime. So Mr. Perry has been broadcasting women all over the dark web for years. All over the world, all over the net. All kinds of people saw that. One of them reported it, and you don't know who it was and who to. He enjoys torture, torment, and starvation of women and children. Our witness, You argue with my witness. How about that? When you get arrested and you have to go to court, why didn't you tell my witness he's delusional? How about that? You're trying to make me look crazy. Yep, because you need a smear campaign, right? But the guy's like, if they keep doing what she says beforehand, Mike was drugged. She did say that in an email beforehand. 5 months later, first responders are deposed, and they confirm it. He was given Narcan for opioid overdose. So she said, you guys were threatening false arrest, then you did it. So how are you going to make it look like she's delusional? You keep doing what she says you're doing. These guys are sex perverts. They pretend like they're Christians, and a lot of them are in the occult. They're trying to shove that down my throat. I don't want your religion shoved down my throat, thanks. You shove everything down my throat. You're sex perversion, too. You're an imposition and a burden, Mr. Perry. You're pissing me off. You're alone for a reason. You're doing it wrong. You do things no woman would want. I think Lucky had it right when he was explaining to somebody else what he thinks you're all about. He was doing a criminology analysis, like a little bit of a profile. And that pissed you off, didn't it? So, because he called it, didn't he? The thing is, when you react to what someone says, you kind of prove it or disprove it. No reaction. There's no reason to be, well, yeah, I guess that guy was right. But when somebody gets it right and you react to that by causing a harm to that person, you implicate yourself. And you're not smart enough to put that together, are you? Yeah. It's interesting. So the guy here in Oklahoma, I'm not going to tell you which shrink I talked to. It was in addition to Dr. Russell. But the shrink says to me, I have to look at what you're looking at to see if you're seeing things I'm not seeing in order to make the diagnosis of delusion. And those guys in Lubbock apparently had been paid off to make such a diagnosis without having all your evidence, because you do have texts and emails that state, Mr. Perry's coming up behind my car. You've got texts and emails from other people that saw things you didn't see. You weren't there. They're reporting he's showing up at a restaurant. You weren't at the restaurant. You didn't see shit. They did. You've got other people reporting, I saw this, I saw that. She wasn't there. So our witness says, Mr. Perry, as long as I've known him, trolls women. When they're not home, he has somebody break in the house, put hidden cameras in. He begins to broadcast them on the dark web, and he's selling them. Selling watch time, pimping these women out. He gets them fired. He's looking for women with kids, single women with kids. That's his target victim. That's the victimology here. He puts the cameras in their home. He has them selling them on the dark web. He gets them fired. Now they're all stressed out. Now the kids are all upset. This was a previously happy little home. Kids are all stable. Everybody's stable. He's traumatizing and traumatizing, causing duress after duress after duress, imposing and burdening other little families, little children. Child pornography. If they're broadcast on the net and they're being sold, watch time. It's sexual exploitation of women and children. He gets them fired. Then he hacks them and he won't let them find a new job. Then they lose their home. Then he has the ex take the kids away. These families are being ripped apart. These kids' lives are being turned upside down. And your only concern is who told. Your only concern is, how can I make Cynthia look crazy because she's part of the machine putting a stop to this? How can I make her look crazy? This guy's going, Mr. Powell did not preserve any evidence at all, and they obstructed justice. She filed a police report. She had to. They knew that. There's no evidence of a political vendetta. Mr. Perry imagined that. He's the delusional one. Mr. Perry has a bad habit of accusing other people of doing what he does. He murders. He harasses. He's delusional. So he's trying to put off that on me, and I'm not that, and he knows it. He's got 6 perjury cases right now. Went into court and lied. Bold-faced lied, or he's imagining it. There's several, what this guy's talking about. There should have been a hearing on my Whether or not the bond conditions constitute a contract, there wasn't. Should have been a 14-day hearing on a protective order I requested. There wasn't. Should have been a hearing on the motions to intervene. In Mike's case, there wasn't. And when there is a hearing, Mr. Perry's there and I'm not. They make sure I'm not in court. So he was told any idiot can see she's telling the truth. Not genius, idiot. They think they're full. These Alzheimer's people think they're fooling everybody, and they're really not. Nobody's that stupid. So, I mean, you have all these emails before that this guy's referring to. He seems pissed off. He seems like very frustrated, like he's trying to explain all this stuff away. There's all this stuff that happened. How do we explain it? Because the whole idea was to make her look crazy. How the hell are we supposed to make her look crazy when she emails something out 5 months before, and then they do it anyway? Like they have Alzheimer's and forgot she already said it. Everybody's kind of wondering that, Mr. Perry. Why would you, this is January 4th. A false arrest and killing me is not going to vindicate him from stalking. It's going to prove he is stalking me. That's not delusion, because then you did it. I hadn't even filed the police report yet. Had I? Oh, we didn't get that one full. Yep, he kept blocking everybody from loading up that stuff. Those, anyways, but it's on YouTube. Okay, so these are the texts and emails from 2011 the guy's talking about. He's creeping up behind my car. You see nothing about abortion, nothing about gay marriage, nothing political here at all. Long before I could have anticipated the events of 2016. That's what he's talking about. What I'm saying is I didn't hurt him when I'm telling him to stop hitting on me in public. I didn't go to the media with that. I went to his manager. I didn't hurt him. I was trying not to. I also had a business, political consulting. I didn't need a scandal. I didn't want a scandal. Mr. Perry sure did. He still does. So there's all that. There's nothing political in it. This is my friend Cheryl. She saw him do something I didn't see. Mr. Perry, that's not delusion. You're slandering me, and I want you to fucking stop. Stop slandering me. Cease and desist all slander. Cease and desist all contact with me. Cease and desist your voyeurism, your stalking, your harassment, your financial abuse. Cease and desist all contact with me and my family. Get the fuck out of my life. You're all alone. 10 years into this, $25 million later, you don't have a date. You don't have a cover-up. You're by yourself. You're making a fool of yourself. The more you do that, you piss me off. And then we get more things like we got today. We do every day. Yesterday, you guys got caught. We need to put something in her gas tank. Ruin her car. She didn't have a car warranty. Then she'll have to leave Oklahoma. She won't be able to make money. They were going to have me arrested Tuesday night when I was at work. For what? He kept coaxing me for months. For months, I've been saying, in podcasts, everywhere. He's trying to make me go broke to force me to dance. How can we get her back on that pole and on a schedule? Just like he did to Mike. Force him to go to Pensacola. Coax him. Entrapment. There's a thing called entrapment. Right? You were trying to do that. You got caught. You've had every person I work with trying to watch me on my phone. Well, I do my homework at work on my phone. I'm in school. I do some of it online. So you had everybody watching me on my phone. You had everybody asking for my cigarettes. Why? So you could plant them at your faked up murder? You murder people. You're trying to make me look like a murderer. I'm not. There's 40 cops after you. If I was a murderer, they would have put me in jail for it long ago. They wouldn't be using me to help catch you, would they? They're really good at what they do. They got what you just said yesterday. They would know for sure if I was a murderer. There's a gun involved, I guess. I've never held a gun, much less shot one. Couldn't take the safety off to save my life. You little fuckers that keep trying to frame me for something. You know, there was the jewelry scam he's talking about. Have Terry Wagner give her jewelry from his wife's auction. Starve her to death, then force her to go pawn it, and we'll have her arrested on possession of stolen property. I take a picture of it. My guy sees it, takes it to his guy, his jewelry guy. His jewelry guy goes, I don't think they gave it to her yet, because all that was recorded too. I found out beforehand. Our jewelry guy says, this is not worth $10. A pawn shop won't take it. This is shit. This is Walmart crap. And I think this one thing here is Avon. The pawn shop won't take any of it. So I don't think they had given it to her yet. This is another person, Mr. Perry. She saw something I didn't see. I wasn't there. I was running errands. You hacked my phone. You saw me and her talking about going to Carino's every Wednesday. Because we didn't invite you. I had to go run errands that day. I forgot my phone at home. So you hack somebody's phone, you GPS the phone. Right now, stalkers are doing a lot of that and voyeurism. That's very common. Technology is available now to increase the ways a man can stalk a woman. Creep on her. Bother her. Pester her. Harass her. Cause a problem. See who she's trying to get a job with. Make sure she can't get it, so she's crying and you go jack off. That's what the guy said. He enjoys getting women hysterical. He's a sex sadist. He enjoys getting women hysterical so he can go rub one out. I usually say jack off. His words were, Mr. Perry, rub one out. It's a sex crime. BTK. You're BTK and Epstein rolled up into one. And you're all by yourself. Nobody's with you. There's no woman with you. You're all alone. Nobody wants you. No woman wants to be peeped on and harassed and bothered and pestered and harassed and bothered and pestered and have one problem after another problem after another problem all fucking day long, every fucking day. And that's the best you'll ever do is be a 10-year rejected fail about to go to prison because you got a lot of RICO violations too. You failed. You can't get a woman, can ya? You're doing it wrong. You're one big fat turnoff. You're doing it wrong. You're alone. 10 years. Do you have a woman with you? Is anybody holding your hand? No. Your crime keeps getting out more and more and more uncovered. And that's all that happens when you fuck with me. You get caught. You're stupid. You can't get it. It's the same thing every day. McNamara email of 2015 was the first of that. This means I'm not delusional. She saw what I didn't. He sees us texting. I leave my phone at home, and I had to go run errands. And she's called me later and said, are you not coming to Carino's? And I go, oh, my gosh, I forgot it was even Wednesday. I'm sorry. I think she texted me. I forgot it was even Wednesday. I was running errands. I just got home. I haven't showered yet. By the time I take a shower and get over there, y'all will be ready to leave, so I'm not going to make it tonight. I texted her. When I ran my errands, I came back home, and I looked at my phone and saw her text. She and I went to Carino's every Wednesday with her church group. We went to happy hour. Mr. Perry saw those texts, and he was never told about it. So later, she calls me, and she goes, I just got home. You're not going to believe who walked in. Charles Perry walked in, walked to the back, shot me a dirty look, and walked out. He wasn't eating there. He was clearly looking for you. She saw it. I didn't see it. I wasn't there. But how would you know I left my home? Because your GPS my phone. My phone's at home. Why wouldn't you think I was at home? You had cameras in my home then, didn't you? So you knew I left. You shouldn't have known I left. You're stalking me. You're creeping on me, and you're pissing me off. And when you piss me off, you piss 40 cops off, Charles, and you get caught more like you did last night. She doesn't have a car warranty. We can put something in her gas tank, ruin her car, and she'll have to leave Oklahoma. Except what you didn't think of is, if it's vandalism, I don't need a car warranty. It's covered by my car insurance. You were caught. You're always caught because you pester me. You're caught when you pester me. You don't have a date. You're alone. You're a 10-year rejected. Fail. You pester and bother and pester and bother and pester and bother and cause loss after loss after loss after loss. And you're pissing me off. And you better stop the slander right now, you sick son of a bitch. Stop lying. You think you're fooling people? What? Because Alzheimer's kicked in and you don't know you were already caught? And that's what this guy's saying. She'll say it beforehand. He acts like he doesn't remember he got caught already. He'll do it anyway. How can you say she's crazy when you keep doing exactly what she says over and over and over and over? Maybe you ought to stop lying. We got a bunch of old fart sex perverts, can't control themselves, think they're fooling people. Delusionals. Shh, Charles, stop contacting me. You're not getting a date. It's 10 years into this, $25 million failed cover-up. You didn't get it, did you? Get a grip on reality. You're slow. You're irritating the fuck out of me. When you contact me, when you cause a loss, when you cause a drama, when you pester and bother, when you peep and hack, you piss me off. And you piss me off a lot. I mean, I'm fucking furious when you do that. It's not a date. It's a crime. You sicko. You're in a lot of trouble. Nobody's done what I've done, have they? Nobody. You guys think you're going to make up some lie. It was just, this is the McNamara email of 2015 when I told everybody months before he's threatening a false arrest. I was supposed to be arrested Tuesday. That's what I hear. She was supposed to be arrested Tuesday when she went back to the club because he's been trying to get her back out to that club, starving her, cutting off every other source of income to try to make her go back out there because he had another false arrest all planned up. Who is going to do that, Rogers or Mays? Who's going to do that for you, Charles? Who's on your payroll? Is it Rogers County or is it Mays County on your payroll that was going to do another false arrest if I go back out at that club when you've been coaxing and coaxing and coaxing and coaxing like you did to Mike? You already did one false arrest. Matthew Powell didn't preserve evidence. He failed. That's his job. It's the law. The video surveillance was not preserved. Blood and hair evidence was not preserved. Texts were not preserved. I preserved them. He didn't. You went into court and said you're a victim of a political attack. Where the fuck is the evidence of that? Because all those emails years before, this is 2015. This is the McNamara email. That's a smoking gun of sorts in the first false arrest, is it not? You guys, what delusion? You're going to make me look crazy. Duly noted for the fucking record. That's in 2011. Where the hell is the political vendetta, you little bitch? Delusion? Where? Where's the political vendetta? You went into court and said, she's doing this in retaliation of my job. What part of that is what you do to pass a law in Texas? You think you're fooling people with your Alzheimer's? You need to get a grip on reality. Stop fucking lying to yourself and lying to everybody else. You're not fooling nobody's that dumb. Nobody is that stupid. So that's what our guy here says. I don't know why those guys in Lubbock, those shrinks in Lubbock, would put their license out there like that. I'm not going to do that to mine. Risk my license and my reputation. Making some crap up that you're delusional. I haven't seen. They didn't look at those texts. They didn't look at your friend's email. She saw something you didn't see. Where's the video surveillance? I got to see that. Mr. Powell didn't preserve it. That's the job of the prosecutor, Mr. Powell, right? How do you have a job, Mr. Powell? How is it you even have a fucking job? Crackerjack box law degree is what my prosecutor says. That guy's got a crackerjack box law degree. Can't read the law and understand it properly. You understand it better than he does. You preserved the evidence and he failed. You have to. It's not a choice. It's the law. You held me against my will in jail for 2 months. I lost my house. My son went through hell. Don't you dare call him up and go, can we get him to say he wasn't abused? Fuck you. He lost his home. Now you want to try again? I'm supposed to be arrested Tuesday? For what? Not liking a weirdo? Every woman complains about going through what you're putting me through. You gonna selectively prosecute me? Rogers County or Mays County? Which one of you is on the payroll? Which one of you is harassing me for Mr. Perry? I'd like to know. You might be obstructing justice and harassing a witness is what you might be doing. So I'd be very careful. I don't go out there and commit crime. I go out there, I do my job. I try to make money so that I can take care of myself. And then I go home. You got a problem with that? That's nothing. No, there's nothing illegal about that, is there? You guys have had people coming in there trying to get me to do prostitution and drug traffic. Go ask that cop if he wants my drugs. Is that one of your CIs that did that to me? I'm smarter than that, and I said no, didn't I? That didn't work out. Was that you, Rogers, or Mates, or was that a Texas Ranger? Which one was it? I don't think, I want to know, is it Rogers County or Mays County that Charles called up and tried to arrange a second false arrest if I go back Tuesday? I went out there to dance Tuesday. And I did have people that don't smoke asking for my cigarettes. I had about 20 people come around me when I'm sitting there trying to do my homework. What were they looking for, Charles? You're not supposed to be you went into court and said, I'm not doing what she's doing. I'm not talking to her people that she works with. I'm not talking to her family. She's delusional. Oh, really? So then last night a guy says, what do you think she's going to do? You think she's going to go back out there? You think she's going to go back out there and chew somebody's ass out? And the other guy goes, nope, I think she'll do what she always does. She'll walk back in there. I do. I think she'll go back. And I think she'll act like nothing happened. That's what she always does. And that is what I always do. And it's probably what I will do. You want to come out there and fuck with me again next time I go dance? I dare you. You little sick pervert. I dare you. Come out there and fuck with me again next time I go dance. It's so easy, it's not even fair. It's the gift that keeps on giving. She did say beforehand. Now how the fuck do we explain all that? Because the whole idea was to make her look crazy. She can't prove any of this. Right, but she keeps having these. The problem is there's all these emails where she said something beforehand. So somebody's got the evidence. There's a recording of it somewhere, or she wouldn't have an email about it. The problem is she did find out beforehand, and you knew she found out beforehand, and you fucking did it anyway. So now you're giving her more credibility and more credit. That's what the guy seems to be frustrated about. Now what the hell do we do? What do you do? I don't know. How are you going to make that lie work? You think people believe you? Wow, you are off your nut. You're off your fucking nut. I want the list of names of people you think you fooled. Because I guarantee you, if I talk to them, they're not fooled at all. They just don't want to tell you that because you'll blow up their life like you do everybody else's. Justice Scalia was where I was in West Texas when he died. When you were coming up with that harassment con, I'm going to put a fraud upon the Supreme Court like I did in the court in Lubbock twice. When I went in and said, she filed a false police report in retaliation for my job. No evidence of a political vendetta. What the fuck is wrong with Judge Hanson that he didn't make you produce something? Huh? I know Judge Hanson. He's actually a nice guy. How much did you pay him? Or did you threaten him? To get him to issue a warrant with no fucking evidence to prove any kind of political vendetta at all. He hadn't seen these, had he? He should have asked for evidence and he didn't. Where's that? He didn't see that, did he? Judge Hanson is a nice guy. What'd you threaten him with to make him sign off on an arrest warrant with no evidence of a political vendetta? Where's the ranting emails? You hear me ranting? I can rant like a motherfucker when I'm pissed off. And yet not one rant to you or anybody else about anything political. You're in a district with 86% Republicans. If somebody wanted to replace you, the next guy's going to be exactly like you. They don't have a choice. That's what the voters demand. It's the smallest district in the state of Texas, and I didn't do Texas legislation. I could have called 20 other people. I didn't need you for shit. You don't matter. You're not relevant. I know in your grandiose mind, like a serial killer, grandiose thinking, you think you do. You really, really don't. You never did. I went over there to help you get elected so cops could get to you to catch you on your voyeurism problem, your little peep show that you sell. You've sold me. You owe me $1,000 a day for selling me. And you're getting entertained. You think it's a date. It's a crime, you sick son of a bitch. $1,000 a day for sitting there watching me in the privacy of my home against my will. Plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. And you owe that money, and I promise you, you're going to pay it one way or the other. You got police on your ass. Right now being discussed is payment to me and Michael Neely the second you're arrested. And then when they ask for restitution, they'll ask for their department to be restored. You have to pay them. We'll already be paid. We won't be broke ever again. And Michael, go home. Because you false arrested him too. You can't beat a guy to death when you're sleeping. Because somebody gave you opioids and you're knocked out. And you don't have a mark on you. And you kept me out of court on purpose. That was that whole jewelry thing. Have Terry give her jewelry. Make her go broke. Make her pawn it. Then we'll false arrest her on possession of stolen property. Pawn shop won't take it, Sin. It's too cheap. This is shit. Pawn shop will not even take it. You wanted to prevent and delay my testimony for Officer Neely because you framed him too. And I'm going to tell you something, you pissed off all kinds of guys in law enforcement when you did that. Dead lucky, framed Mike, almost dead Mike, and almost dead me, and almost framed me. You did it, you tried it once. It didn't work out for you, so you've been trying it again ever since. Fuck you. Who was going to do it, Rogers or Mays? Do I need to call them and ask them? Which one of you has a warrant for my arrest? I need to prove that I'm right. I need to prove out my recording. Should I call them and ask them? Do I need to prove out my recording, Mr. Perry? Did you do it again? You were calling my coworkers. You went into court and said you weren't. That's more perjury. So you tell me, which one do I call? Because both have jurisdiction out there. You tell me. You obstructed justice. Tulsa police got a police report on the 21st of January after I'm already telling people he's threatening false arrest on the 4th and in October. Yep. So everybody has seen these. This was a denied protective order because, in part, I didn't have a police report with me because by law, you got to do that. I'm getting poisoned. Did you give me phenobarbital and arsenic? Yeah. We're trying to kill you. We told you we would kill you if you didn't recant your claims that he's stalking you. And I got all these texts. These fucking weirdo texts. I just want this to be over without death and destruction. Oh, I can't promise that. I'm not going to promise it's going to be over without death and destruction. How am I supposed to take that? And I think I even asked him that. And then let your life fade away. My manager at Lady Godiva's, I show him these. Well, at least he's poetic with his death threats. Right? There was video surveillance of him in there giving me a hard time. 2 customers told the waitress, what are you guys going to do? Wait till he kills her? You know, wait till he blows her head off, then do something? Get the guy fucking out of here. We're sitting in watching this guy harass her all night. Every time she does a lap dance, he sends that girl sitting on his lap to go watch her. That was video surveillance Matthew Powell failed to preserve. Delusion. The doctor's up here. I'm not going to risk my license and my reputation to say you're delusional and just not look at evidence. I got to see the evidence. Oh, gosh, doctor, it wasn't preserved. Yep. Well, what were those guys in Lubbock thinking? That's stupid. I wouldn't do that. Here's the date. 21st. 21st. I'd already said it on the 4th. On the 4th, he's trying to arrange a false arrest. And that's not going to vindicate him. That's going to prove me out. That's going to vindicate me. Didn't put it together. That was what was going to happen. Well, we could say she's delusional. No, I don't think so. My shrink didn't say that. Because of this. This is the arrest report on the 29th. You think there was time to do an investigation in a week? False police report. And you held me, Mr. Powell, 2 months. Against my will. Didn't preserve evidence. My son lost his house. He had explained why my mugshot's everywhere. And you've been trying to do it again ever since Tuesday night. I was supposed to be arrested? For not liking a weirdo or what? I won't lie for you? You're going to cause duress and retaliate and RICO violation after RICO violation after RICO violation. What do you, who do you think you're fooling? Alzheimer's. You're all by yourself. 10 years into this, not one date. I can't stand you. You make all my skin crawl all the time. And you peeping on me and pestering me and taking my money. It's not a date, you sick son of a bitch. It's crime. And the more you do it, the more you get caught. Nobody at that club said to me anything about there being an arrest. This I found out last night. Tuesday night, she was supposed to be arrested. That was recorded last night. Last night. You got leaks, bitch. People are sick of you. Everyone's sick of you. And your torment and your torture and your starvation and your hardship and your drama queen act is bullshit. Everyone's sick and tired of it. And we're tired of repeating the same thing over and over and over and over. And that's what this guy's saying. She'll catch him. Somebody's recording something. There's evidence. There's that recording. Somebody has it. She's hearing it. She's typing it up. So she heard it. Who has those recordings? They act like there's no recording. There are. How does she know? Perry is bullshit. And she's psychic. No, I wish I was. I'd go play the lottery. And then I get that. I didn't psychic that to myself in jail. I got that in jail. It's not just some random name. It's Fabian's name. You're the butt-in. I've said this over and over and over and over. Did I psychic that to me? How the fuck do you do that? If I'm psychic, I'm playing the lottery, and I'm rich. So what planet do you fucking live on? That's what this guy is. It looks like. So he obstructed justice. This is the Whole Foods receipt he's talking about. I'm getting sick. I go buy charcoal. I'm just trying to go to work. I'm the victim of crime every time I fucking go to work. There's a call that came in right here. Remember, Mr. Perry knows this is recorded. This is recorded. Only a peeper and a hacker would know I'm recording it right now. So it's odd that the last 2-3 days, every time I'm recording one, he's calling. I promise you that's him calling. I have like 9 pages of fucking phone numbers, phone calls from people. Right? Is that you? There's one number that I have that goes out to everybody else, and one number that I have only my family has. Only my family has the number. That's what that is. How'd you get that number? You keep wanting my ringtone. We got to get her ringtone. We got to get her back out that club and on that pole so we can have her false arrested again. Get all her co-workers to watch everything she does on her phone. Because we don't like her telling on us. Right? Get her cigarettes, whether they smoke or not. Yeah, that's not fishy. Why is that girl asking me for a cigarette? She don't smoke. Because Charles Perry told her to. You think I'm that dumb? I'm not dumb like you. Nobody is. That's why you keep getting caught, you sicko. Then there's that. While I'm in jail, while Justice Scalia, who is against censorship, certainly also Ruth Bader Ginsburg was very much pro-women's rights. First Amendment right to free speech. Women's rights not to be harassed and a victim of misogyny and sexual harassment. What, you thought Ruth Bader Ginsburg was going to die before it hit the Supreme Court because she's older? And Justice Scalia needed to be just, I don't know, we'll just switch out his pills. Or we'll give him a syringe. And William O. Ritchie, who's not patrol, he's not detective, he's commander of homicide, D.C., former. He was retired. Starts going, well, we would have followed a whole different set of procedures on that one. So why didn't they do that in West Texas? While I'm in jail in West Texas on the first false arrest about a political vendetta that was imagined, and a police report that hadn't even been investigated yet, went into court and said it's a false report. Right. It hadn't even been a week yet. Who investigated it? Where's the investigation? Why didn't Jim Hansen go, I need to see the investigation. I need to see some documents proving that there actually was an investigation that proved her report false before we just throw her in jail. Would you pay? He's a nice guy. Did you pay him or did you threaten him? Because with you, everything's a wave a few dollars, make a few threats, and everybody just bends over and lets you, go at it. That's your thing, you little sex pervert. When you fuck with me, you get caught. You don't get a date. You're alone. You're all alone. You're pissing everybody off. That's all you do all day long is sit around and piss everybody the fuck off. And you get caught. So who is it you did? Who is it you paid off? To Tuesday night, she's supposed to go to jail. Rogers County or Mays? Which one do I need to call to prove that recording out? Which one? You tell me. And yeah, I'll probably go back and act like nothing happened, because that's what I do. You had a county commissioner out there. You sent Dave sent all his people in there, his little migrant workers. Look, I don't have anything against migrant workers, except if they don't pay up in a strip club, they think it's a free show, and they get grabby, and they're in there stalking or trying to create a facade for a county commissioner wanting to know what the hell's wrong with the business there. And he asked me that. Is this place been slow? Yeah. Well, it looks full now. Right, but it's not normally like this, sir. We've got to, we've had some problems. It's been very slow. He wanted to know what's going on with the business in his community. That's what he wanted to know. We got a guy coming up from Texas fucking with businesses. I'd like to find out what the hell's going on. That was Rogers County Sheriff, whatever your name is, Walton or Walston. You want to call me, call me. I'd like to prove out this recording that I was supposed to be arrested Tuesday after my coworkers flock around me every time I get on my phone to do my homework. Or I think one time I was emailing my attorney. It's none of your business. You know, attorney communications are attorney-client privilege. So you get my coworkers walking around me while I'm texting or emailing my attorney. You're violating that. And guess what? It's none of their business, nor is it yours. You have them asking for my cigarettes. You're making a contact in the forum state of Oklahoma. And you went into court and said you weren't. And the intent is malicious, and it is to cause me harm. Duly noted for the record. You lied again. So this county commissioner comes in. I said this in last night's podcast. As soon as he leaves, after he's asking me these questions, he leaves. Everybody else got up and left too. Wow. And we're all looking at each other like, oh, that was a show for the county commissioner that was just in here wanting to know, why is the guy from Texas fucking up businesses in my state and in my county? Who's allowing that? Who is allowing that? I'd like to know that, Sheriff Walton and Sheriff Reed. Tortious interference with business. You're probably going to get sued. You're probably going to get sued. I get that you guys don't want me to file a 1031 motion to vacate on fraud. You're terrified at that. And you want to starve me. And you want to torment, ruin my car. And you want to do this. And you're going to go to jail for that. So I dare you. You fucktard. Do it. And watch what happens. We've already talked to a U.S. attorney that said she can file it outside the deadline if they're doing this on purpose to make sure she can't. That's illegal. That's illegal. What the hell are they thinking? What the hell are they thinking? She's got plenty of evidence here that he did commit fraud. There's this Mickey James text. There's this Terry Wagner's text. There's this Pinto guy. He went into court and lied. Bold-faced lied. Again. Like he did on the first false arrest. And now this guy's going, how are we going to get anybody to believe a word they say at this point? Because there's all this stuff before, like Mike Neely was drugged. Mike Neely was drugged. All this stuff here. That's what he's questioning. You got old farts who are sexually frustrated because they can't get a date. No woman wants weird like the weirdo they are. And, this torment, sadism, whatever. No woman likes being starved to death or have her car blown up, wrecked or whatever. This is the email. Mike Neely was drugged way before. Sure as shit. That's exactly what they said. 5 months later. He wants my car last night. She didn't have a car warranty. Let's put something in the gas tank, ruin it. Then she can't. Well, she can't work. Then she can't go back to court and, tell everybody what we've done. And maybe she'll leave the state. This will die out. I can go back to my crime as usual. Because she's up here fucking it all up. We don't like that. No bad guy likes getting caught. That's the McNamara email. I think that was Lucky. Getting a little tired of him coming up here harassing her. Claiming he's the one being harassed. He's up here where she is. Justice Scalia died where she was. While they're planning a crime against her. Lucky and Mike were where I was. I'm complaining about car vandalism. My insurance company knows you have a problem with vandalizing my car. They've been told. They got fraud people that aren't real happy with you for doing that. So I don't need a car warranty, which was what you discussed last night. Does she have a car warranty on that car? We can put something in the gas tank and ruin it. She won't have a way to fix it. Then she'll have to leave the state. She won't have any way to make money. It's covered under my insurance. They're fully aware you keep fucking with my car. They're not happy about it. Nor was Lucky. And then 6 days later, unfortunately, he's murdered. And you think we don't know who did that? Because we're all stupid. Right? We do know. You did it. That's why you harass me all the time. I know what you did. It's not hard. Anybody can look at this and figure out what you did. There's no extortion. I'm talking about you owe me money for the injury you caused me. What you did to Lucky, I'm not asking for money. I'm just telling you here's what he did. My testimony is already on the docket. There was never ever a quid pro quo. Oh, I'll keep it quiet if you give me money. I never said that. You tried to coerce it. I said specifically, we're watching Terry Wagner. As far as we're concerned, he's a conduit of coercion. If his money's consistent, he was coming in buying VIPs. If his money's consistent, there's no crime. If his money comes and goes based on whether or not I do what you think I should, that's a problem for you. That's coercion. Well, guess what? As soon as I file motions to vacate for Mike, he quits. All of a sudden, he cuts off all communication. That's coercion. Nobody extorted money from you. You do owe money for injury you caused. That can be handled in civil court. That's what we're all trying to do, that you keep trying to prevent. Right? That's a civil court matter. That's not extortion. I'm trying to sue you again, and you're trying to keep me from it. Take my car. Duly noted for the record. And the U.S. attorney we talked to, who could be anywhere, you don't know who all's doing what. Doesn't mean he's in Tulsa. Doesn't have to be in Tulsa. He said if they're intentionally trying to keep her from suing or filing a motion to vacate on fraud, and there's a deadline, the deadline is extended because they're doing that. They're intentionally trying to prevent her from seeking court remedy that she's entitled to. So I want you to know we all know that. We're all watching that. You do what you do. You want to call my parents? Don't give her any money. We can't have her suing us in court. We're going to make sure she can't. Make sure she can't work. We're just going to sit around and pester her all the time. Make her try to get her back out of that club and arrest her so she can't sue us. Because we're the ones doing the crime, not her. We're witness tampering. And everybody believes us. What planet would that be on? This was the agreement. You were to leave me the fuck alone. So now the comments are, between this harassment email and those bond conditions, that now makes Justice Scalia's death not just look like a death on accident. It looks like maybe it was on purpose because you were about to perpetrate a fraud on his court, and he wasn't going to go for that. He's in West Texas. The nexus is you, Mr. Perry, and the motive and the opportunity and the means is you. I'm in jail. You wanted to send me, you see, you coaxed Mike to Pensacola so that you could do to him what you did to him. And you're trying to coax me back out to the club so you can have them false arrest me again. And have people I work with, look what I'm doing on my phone. I was texting my attorney and doing homework. And it's not your business, nor is it theirs. And you made a contact in the state of Oklahoma that's really weirdo, more harassment. Every woman in the Me Too movement, every stalking victim, Polly Peretti, can speak out against what's happening to them, the harassment, the sexual harassment, the sexual exploitation, the crime, the domestic violence. So why can't I? Why do you want to censor me and just selectively prosecute me? Because you don't like getting caught. You don't like it when I say, guess what? They were just recorded saying XYZ. You don't like that, do you? You don't know who's posting what on Facebook. There's a lot of people posting on Facebook. It's not your business, nor is that the crime. Talking about somebody committing crime against you is not a crime. You are a drama queen, and everybody's sick of you. And the more you fucking go around claiming you're the victim and harming people and causing problems and pestering and invading privacy and causing loss and planning this and that and blip, blip. False arrest after death, after, take her money, keep her out of civil court, make sure she can't file anything in civil court against us. We get more of these recordings because you're pissing everybody off. Things like this. It gets easier to get the harder you go at me. My guys go at you. You cause a problem for me, they're going to cause 20 for you because they don't like your crime. They don't like watching me hurt. They don't like watching me get smeared. I've known them a lot longer than I've known you. They got the Fabian puzzle to me in jail. It's very specific to me. It didn't come to me at some random time in my life, and it didn't come to me with a, Ryan or Paul or John or some other name on it. It's Fabian's name, and it was right then. Now, cease and desist, you little fucktard. You're all alone for a reason. Don't contact me again. It pisses me off. And then we get more of that. And this guy is kind of going over everything, kind of going, how do we explain all this? Yeah, how do you? Because as it turns out, you're not fooling anybody. And if you think you are, I want the list of people you think you're fooling. Because I promise you, they're going to tell you something to your face that they're not saying behind your back. The rest of the world is smarter than you. When you lie to people that are smarter than you, they're going to know they are going to know you're lying. And then they're going to be pissed off. I can't believe you didn't insult my intelligence like that. I'm going to tell you right now, right after my first false arrest, you started fucking with me again. And we started putting stuff out about it. 2 or 3 of those reporters that you would talk to on the phone, one of them I know he's a very high profile reporter, hung up the phone and he goes, he just lied to me. That guy just bullshit me. He thinks I acted like I believed him. He's full of shit. I didn't believe a word he said. You don't know which reporter that was, do you? Another one, high profile, hit the table about 4 times and she goes, leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. She's not saying I don't want him to get elected again. She's saying, I want that bitch to leave me alone. Now, how in the hell is that criminal? She was pissed off. She was pissed off at you. You're pissing off reporters, you bitch. You're not fooling anybody. But you go ahead and you keep trying. You just keep trying. You do what's stupid and doesn't work and illegal. If it's stupid, doesn't work, and illegal, I'll do more of that. And then you can't figure out why you're in the jam of your life. Not a date, $25 million pissed away. You don't have a cover-up. Your crime's more uncovered than it has ever been in your life. And that happens when you fuck with me. And you still don't get that, do ya? You're very slow. It's very irritating. Mr. Warman, you need to restrain your fucking client. Stop slandering me. You don't have a choice. You stop. You stop right now. And if you want to have Mays County or Rogers County get in touch with me so I can prove out that recording, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.